What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And I'm going to give you an update of what's going on with the second stimulus check and the second stimulus package regarding President Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi, House Speaker and leader of the Democrats, and also about potential new lockdowns coming to the United States, some of which have already started. But first, don't forget to give this video a like down below. It really helps out our channel. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below. My wife and I do all the research for you every single day regarding the second stimulus check and related news, and we bring you all the information in a quick, concise video. President Donald Trump says and promises that you will get the biggest stimulus package you've ever seen, what he calls a big, beautiful stimulus package, if he is reelected after the elections, that they will pass this as soon as possible. President Donald Trump has also said in recent days that he wants to give more money to the stimulus package, and he wants that money to go to the people in the form of direct stimulus payments. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany says that stimulus relief should be for the American people and not just for states and cities, and that the extra money should go to the American people because, well, America is made mostly of people, even though we do have businesses, states, cities, and other places. Other things such as the vaccine and the virus do need money, but a lot of Americans are struggling now more than ever. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker and leader of the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, hopes that the crashing stock market that has been going on for days, almost a 2,000-point drop just in 4 days of the Dow Jones Index, will push President Donald Trump to make a stimulus deal before the election and while they still have negotiating leverage. Nancy Pelosi says, quote, "What the president cares a lot about is the stock market. As he sees the market react to the spread of the virus and sees the market react to the fact that we do not have a stimulus agreement, which could inject resources into the economy, hopefully now he will come to the table in a serious way." And in another statement, Nancy Pelosi said that President Donald Trump should just accept the election results, quote, "like a man if he loses." Only in Washington can Congress bash each other while also negotiating also. Now, I know that President Trump's not in Congress, but it just seems like that's how Congress works. But it used to be Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell for months bashing each other and yet still negotiating at the same time. Nancy Pelosi seems to be.
Yeah, I have to jump in here because you know what?
Who is this? I don't even know who this is.
I feel like 10, 20 years ago, no one would ever speak of the president in that sort of manner. And I don't care who the president is right now. He deserves everyone's respect. And that poor man, whether you like him or not, doesn't get the respect that a president should. And honestly, I think it's terrible that Congress just continues to talk terrible about each other. What That's what we have to work with right now in 2020. We got to deal with them calling each other names and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like, here, I'm gonna insult you, and
Yeah.
then, oh, hey, can we make a deal?
Like, it's 2020. This year has been a nightmare. Can't we just get along? Or we have to do that too? Just my thoughts. Back to cooking.
Let me know if you agree with her. Again, just one woman's opinion. Again, if you don't agree, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments, because as I've said before, I think that's the thing that makes us great as people, is that we can agree to disagree, we can have different point of views, or we can agree with each other as long as we do it in a proper manner and we're not bashing each other to the point where it's unhealthy. That's what makes us humans, is that we can agree, we can disagree, and hopefully move forward. And I really feel like right now, that's what the United States needs to do. I know this election is, what, in 5 days now at this point, 6 days. We need to get some agreements between each other. I feel like the country is so divided. We have Republicans, we have Democrats, and then we have me, who's in the middle, because honestly, I just don't see black and white. I just don't see that Republicans are always right or Democrats are always right. Just like for months, I thought that Mitch McConnell was holding everything up, and then now I've thought that Nancy Pelosi's holding everything up. I honestly think it's Congress that is the problem because I just don't feel like they have Americans' best interests at heart through a lot of these negotiations. Because honestly, if they did, they would have passed another package by now. We'd be sitting here talking about the third stimulus check and the next unemployment extension and the next set of mortgage and rental assistance money and the next set of money for children and for food. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about the second stimulus check. We'd be talking about the third stimulus check. And yeah, we're happy that we got two or three of them now, but we need another one because honestly, we do. That's I don't think that's just my thoughts. I mean, there's tens of thousands of you guys. Our channel is coming up on 40 million views. So I think I have a pretty good idea of what you guys are thinking because I read through your comments every day. 40 million people have watched our channel, and the vast majority of them say the same thing. Congress just is not putting Americans at their best interests at this point. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. But I personally feel like Congress, Democrats and Republicans, put their own political agendas ahead of the American people right now. And I don't feel like they do anything out of the goodness of their heart. Maybe I'm just a little bit jaded after all this, but I just don't feel like they're doing anything out of the goodness of their own heart for the American people. Let me know your thoughts down below, whether you agree or disagree. But not only that, but we have to deal with record new virus cases 4 out of 5 days in a row, matched or exceeded the US all time record new virus cases for 1 day viruses, new cases, 75 to 85,000 new cases per day at this point. And Dr. Anthony Fauci says that the US is in a bad position as the virus heads into the winter months and we see record all-time highs at this case. And not only that, but we are seeing second shutdowns happen in the United States. New York is trying targeted lockdowns in different areas, and they've already issued hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines just in New York City, just in the first weekend, trying to prevent people to keep spreading the virus. Not as just New York, but we're also seeing Texas, El Paso, Texas, the entire county has issued curfews and lockdowns. And not only that, not just New York, all the way to Texas, but we're now starting to see it in Chicago also, as Chicago has now entered into new restrictions on bars, on restaurants, and nightclubs, and an indoor dining ban now that is just happening as Chicago had snow yesterday. So basically, you can't dine in anywhere in Chicago because the temperatures are just too cold. There's a dining ban, and you can't necessarily dine outside if the temperatures are in the 30s and 40s. Honestly, things are just getting worse. The Fed has been urging for more stimulus. We're seeing record virus cases. The stock market is dropping like a rock every single day. We're starting to see second shutdowns across the entire country in certain areas. And I fear that this is just going to keep spreading, and we're going to see possibly even more of a second shutdown across the entire United States if things don't get better. I mean, think about this. We now have more virus cases every single day than we ever have had ever. Way more than when we started the first lockdowns back in March and April. We're way beyond that, and we're passing new records every single day, starting to see shutdowns. I don't know where we go from here besides that we desperately need more stimulus. People are losing their jobs left and right. There's still over 800,000 people every single week that are losing their jobs due to this pandemic. These are brand new people just losing their jobs, 800,000 people per week. And I fear that we're going to be on the trend to raising that to over 1 million people as we were previously. As we start to see more shutdowns, people can't go to work. We're starting to see more articles like this from Boeing, who's going to lay off 7,000 more people. Airlines have laid off tens of thousands of people. Restaurants are also, and more than 1 in 6 small businesses have already gone out of business due to this pandemic. A little bit of good news is Amazon says it's hiring an additional 100,000 new workers for the holidays. They said that this is now up to 700,000 new people that they have hired this year to keep up with demand. And then they say that their starting wages start at least $15 an hour. 3M is also making way more N95 masks now than ever, as not only cases in the US rise, but cases across the world rise. If you need masks, you might want to get them now before we see an actual second shutdown. Because, man, I remember when you couldn't even get toilet paper, let alone masks or anything else. So it might be worth having at least some at your house now if you don't have them before they're actually running out and they're we go back to a toilet paper surge or toilet paper shortage. God, if we get back to that, heaven help us now. Where will we be without toilet paper? Also, on a little bit more positive news, I've seen several different studies now that have said that the vast majority of cases of people that have the virus, the majority of them have a vitamin D deficiency. And while this is good news because you can just take vitamin D supplements, you can just buy them on Amazon or at your local grocery store, it might be a good idea to take a little bit of extra vitamin D, especially as we go into the winter months and you won't be getting as much sun. And it might help prevent you from getting the virus or from catching the virus and having your symptoms be worse. This is just one study I have up, but this study looked at over 200 people with the virus and found that 80% of people didn't have adequate levels of vitamin D in their blood. The study also found that people who had both the virus and lower vitamin D levels also had a higher number of inflammatory markers such as ferritin and D dimer, which have been linked to poor virus outcomes. A different study found that virus patients who had adequate vitamin D levels had a 51.5% lower risk of dying from the disease and a significantly reduced risk for complications. Medical experts theorize that maintaining adequate vitamin D levels may help lower risk or aid recovery from severe virus cases for some people, though more testing is needed. And honestly, that is one of the positive things that we are getting out of all this is we're starting to receive more data, what works, what doesn't work, what helps people from, staying healthy during this, what helps people from maybe, not catching it at all. So that's maybe one of the bright things we can see as we're going through this virus together. Also, I will be announcing the winner of the What's in the Box contest in the next video at 3 p.m. today. We'll be opening it up and showing you what's in there. I've had a lot of fun with you guys and providing a little bit of stimulus to you guys in the form of whoever wins for that box. So make sure to stay tuned for our 3 p.m. video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss out on new videos. You can click on this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of people that have replaced their entire 9 to 5 income by selling products on Amazon. And we all know Amazon is doing really well right now. Click on one of those videos to watch the next video. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.